What up? This is Nick Loopy, one half of Spit Syndicate, representing the One Day Crew. You are currently locked into Torrent This with my homie Dando. Peace.
Hey guys, Dando here for Torrent This Radio now. I'm joined on the line by one half of a group who, after releasing their album Sunday Gentlemen back in February, they're set to kick off their Money Over Bullshit tour, which includes a gig in Geelong this Friday at the Barwon Club. I'm of course talking about Spit Syndicate, and I'm lucky to be joined once again by Mr. Nick Loopy. Nick, thanks for your time, mate. How you doing?
Very well, thanks, Dando. How are you, man?
I'm always good. Now, am I talking to Nick Loopy or am I talking to DJ Chin Music?
At the moment, you're talking to Nick, yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say, dude, that you'd have to be one of the most humble musos I reckon I've ever spoken to. Like, you seem like the type of person that I want to invite to a barbecue for a beer.
Oh, I love barbecues. I love beers, man. Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah. Well, what's been happening today anyway, man?
Just got back into Sydney about an hour ago, man. We played some shows over the last week, and I extended my stay up in far north Queensland for a couple of extra days just to chill out and enjoy that part of Australia. So yeah, now I'm back and just getting ready for the next leg of the tour.
Did you play at Big Sound or did you just visit it?
No, we played at Big Sound. We played a showcase there, and then we flew up to Townsville and played gigs in Townsville and in Cairns for the first time ever. So that was really cool. It's always good sort of playing shows in places you've never properly played shows before, because you really, it's uncharted territory. You don't know what to expect, but it's cool. Anything could happen.
I've never been to Big Sound, which pisses me off. Like, what's so awesome about it? Everyone goes on about how awesome Big Sound is.
I highly recommend it. I'd never been before. This was my first time, and I was in the same boat as you, just wondering what on earth is all this fuss about. But it really is cool. Like, pretty much anyone that's a lot of influential people in the Australian music industry are all in the one area, the Valley in Brisbane, for a series of panel discussions, interviews, meetings, showcases, parties. It's just it's a really cool vibe. It's a really good vibe there. And we performed a showcase, and we're a bit unsure about what to expect, but we had some fans there as well as a few people that were just kind of interested industry folk. And it was really cool. I'd definitely go back, and I would highly recommend it to anyone, including yourself.
Did you catch up with many muso mates?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, I mean, we had a couple friends there. We were there with the Jackie Onassis boys. We also caught up with the guys from Jones Jr.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, a bunch of other our DJ Joyride. He has a much bigger profile than we do in all these different circles in the music industry. Just because besides the fact he's very well known and talented, there's not many other people that look like him.
Yeah.
It's very easy to remember. So we got a bit tired of it, to be honest, towards the end of it. Like, he just knew everyone, and he was constantly stopping to shake somebody's hand or, have a cigarette with somebody. So it just slowed us down a little bit towards the end. So, it was cool. A lot of musos there, a lot of managers, a lot of people like that.
But were you guys able to, like, mooch off of his fame?
Mooch off of Joyride's fame?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He was able to get us into this club that he was DJing at on Thursday night, which was pretty cool. So lucky he had the hookups
there. Yeah. Who would be like some of your best mates in the business now? I think once you told me that you're pretty close with Draft, aren't you?
Well, yeah. We live on opposite sides of the country,
yeah.
And since he's kind of fallen back from music a little bit, we haven't really been in close touch. I probably would say, obviously, Illy. Illy is Illy's one of our oldest friends in music. He used to come up and stay at my place when he'd come up to Sydney, and vice versa when I would go down to Melbourne. Of course, the guys in the crew, Solo and Adit from Horror Show, and two of my best friends, and have been since we went to high school together.
Yep.
Same with the Jackie and Onassis boys, but we're pretty friendly with most people. Definitely Illy is probably one of our closest mates outside of the crew. But we got a lot of love for the Fundamentals boys as well. That whole crew, Seth, all those dudes. Yeah, we're lucky. We get on with pretty much everyone.
Yeah, you seem like that. Well, the album came out back in Feb. Now, the question that you seem to get asked like 1,000 times is, why was there such a long break in between albums? It was 3 years. That's not even that long, really, in the grand scheme of things, don't you think?
I think it is long because you're right. In some regards, it's not that long. Like, it could be longer, but we definitely learnt, maybe the hard way that taking such a long gap between albums, people do forget about you. Your core fans and the people that really believe in your music don't, because they are passionate about your music. But people at radio and festival bookers and people in the press and all those other kind of other arms and avenues that you need to have, that you need to access, they kind of drift off a little bit, simply because there is so much new music always coming out. So, and it's all about momentum as well, man. You kind of, if you are a superstar and you have a cult following, then you can take as many years as you want between albums because you have that fan base. But when you're in these real early stages, and even though we've put out 3 albums, we're still in the early stages of trying to build up where we really want to take our music. Yeah, when you're in those stages, you can't really afford to take such a long break, I think. But it's all good. We're not stressing about it. We're just certainly, we're already working on new music, new songs. There's a lot going on with us at the moment.
You just need to start dropping C-bombs on Facebook like 360, and your fame will just take off overnight.
Oh man, we've been saying to come for years. Also, I probably can't say that on your show.
You say whatever you want, dude.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. That's a good idea, though.
Yeah. Well, on the tour, is there any new tracks that some fans might not have heard before?
Any new songs that we're performing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always try and switch up the set a little bit, and there are some songs from earlier in our. I don't really want to say career, but songs that we put out that are older, and also some newer songs. We just kind of switch them up a little bit. But yeah, it's a different set to ones that we've done before. But the songs that people really want to hear. Obviously it's hard to please everyone, but we all the big songs are still in there. We just kind of switched it up in a few different times, and I think what we want to try and do this tour is kind of keep it dynamic the entire time. So after each leg, just kind of go, or before each show, all right, what can we do this time? For example, over the weekend we played for the first time in Cairns and Townsville, so we pulled out a couple of maybe older songs that we've done to death in other places, but we thought, we never played shows here, so we got to kind of, these are people that are seeing our music for the first time, so we got to make the set reflect that. And when we play somewhere like Melbourne, we have to switch it up a little bit. So yeah, it always changes, man.
You've got to be really careful with how you balance new tracks with old ones, don't you?
Yeah, it's a tough one to get right, because you kind of putting together sets. It's not as easy as you think, especially when it's kind of cool that we're in a position where we've got more songs now. Every time you put out an album, we've got more songs to choose from, but it still doesn't get any easier.
Well, I got married back in Feb. My wife Nicola and I, we went on a mini honeymoon to Sydney back in February. We did the Sydney Harbour Bridge walk. Shadowed you weren't the tour guide.
Well, congratulations first and foremost.
Oh, thank you.
Secondly, there's a lot of tours going on that bridge, but if you hit me up in advance, I could have maybe teed it up. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was a lot longer than I expected. However, that first part where you're just walking across like a piece of wood.
Yeah, did you shit yourself?
Shit my pants.
Yeah, it happens.
I was like, I want to get back now.
You made it in the end. You had a nice day?
Oh yeah, it was really good. When you're doing it, have you ever looked at something from up there that's inspired you to write a song?
Not really. I spend a lot of time out there just kind of chilling. I'm not always doing the tour. Sometimes I'm just kind of chilling up there and just making sure everything's running all right. And you have a lot of time to just think. It is a great place to think. It's a great place to reflect. And I certainly write. I have written rhymes up there. But more than that, I just write lists of all the stuff I have to do when I finish work. I write rhymes like I have to write lists, and I wouldn't be working a day job.
Off the top of your head, right now, the most interesting fact you bust out on a Nick Loopy Sydney Harbour Bridge tour.
Well, the stuff that people that people seem to enjoy the most is hearing about all the funny stuff that happens up there. people getting drunk up there and leaving trolleys and, you know,
Trolleys?
people freaking out and, yeah. So people, I mean, yeah, I can talk about history and stories like that, but people seem to be most receptive when they hear about weird stuff that happens on top. You know, people proposing, people getting drunk, people kind of, yeah, doing things like that. But, man, I could talk for hours on it, but I'm not going to do that just because no one else really finds it that interesting.
What's the most absurd question you've ever been asked by somebody up there? Like, has anyone ever noticed who you are, like Nick Loopy from Spit Syndicate?
No, man, no, that doesn't really happen.
What would you do if someone did? Would you love it?
Well, I'd probably be pretty embarrassed, to be honest. Like, because, you know, you spend a couple hours, people up there, you know, they ask, you know, if you get on with somebody, they'll ask you questions. Is this what you do? What else? Blah, blah, blah. I tell them in a band, or, you know, I'm a rapper. And every time you tell people you're a rapper, you know, that you've just kind of met, the first thing they say is, oh, yeah, rap for me.
Yeah, I knew they would, yeah.
Yeah, people always seem to do that when I'm working. Like, oh, you're a rapper. Okay, can you do a rap for me? I can't do a rap for you just by myself now. That's not how it works. The only exception to that rule is when Chris Tucker was up there the other day. Chris Tucker from Rush Hour on the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah.
My friend was taking him around like a VIP tour, and I was up there just like the manager. And my mate that was taking him around was, you know, he introduced me to him and said, you know, this is Nick. He goes, Chris, do you like hip hop? It's like, I love hip hop. And my mate goes, well, Nick is actually he's one of Australia's top rappers. And I'm like, oh God. And Chris is like, oh yeah, all right, man, like, you know, rap for me, rap something. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. So I just started rapping. Like, I just rapped a verse, just a cappella. And he had a camera guy with him who started filming it. And then after I finished rapping, he started rapping, like, just freestyling, being an idiot. And it was really cool. And that was, like, one of the few times I thought, you know what, I'm just going to rap on the bridge because someone's asked me. But if it wasn't Chris Rock, I probably would have told me, get fucked.
That's exactly right, yeah. Do you reckon that video will pop up on the net somewhere sometime soon?
I don't know, maybe in his Australia documentary, because he was here on tour, so who knows, probably not.
That could be your claim to fame.
Yeah, that could be my ticket out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, man, well, is there anything else you'd like to tell the Spit Syndicate faithful listening out there right now before I let you go?
Oh, no, just you know, thanks for supporting our music and looking forward to seeing you guys at the shows. We never played a proper show, a Spit Syndicate show in Geelong before, so I'm kind of treating this as our first headline show. We supported The Tongue. You know, we did a co-headline tour with him a couple of years back, but this is our first proper headline show, so we're excited. Yep. And the Cats are in the final, so, you know, calm the Cats.
It's going to be a big night. That's it. That's the best way to get to our hearts. Vote for the Cats.
Yeah, there it is.
That's it. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you get yourself a copy of Spit Syndicate's album, Sunday Gentlemen. Check them out at the Barwon Club this Friday night. Make sure you get down there after the footy. And for the latest news and info, you can like them on Facebook, facebook.com/Spit Syndicate. Once again, Nick, always a pleasure, dude, and good luck with the tour.
The pleasure is all mine, Dana. Thanks, bro.
Catch you, man.